Hey, it's me, Leica. Today we're going to have a look at the brand new Awakened hero, Lyca DawnBringer. Now, this hero wears leather-based gear, is part of the Ranger class, and the primary role is to provide a massive amount of burst damage and secondary support, such as energy, for your allies at the beginning of battle. So let's have a look at her skills. Now, all of her skills over here revolve around her passive ability, or her Awakened skill over here, which is Starlight Blessing. Now, this blessing will be extremely effective on Leica and any hero that will benefit from this blessing over here. So it reads, increase the accuracy and magic efficiency of all allied heroes by a grand total of 20%. However, the part that we are looking at mostly is Leica's secondary part over here. Leica's other skills are enhanced. So what this means is, depending on whether this is active or not, this will further enhance every single ability, either making it, giving them more damage, giving them secondary effects that allow Leica to be more effective in battle. So let's have a look at these abilities. Her ultimate ability, Summon Meteors. Leica shoots a starburst arrow at an enemy, dealing damage and summoning 9 meteors. After a short delay, the meteors each deal damage to an enemy. If Starlight Blessing is in effect, which is the passive ability, meteors will deal AoE damage to the target. So if you can group up the enemies or shift them closer together, you can stack multiple meteors on top of each other, allowing you to deal near infinite damage to the enemies. So each of these meteors will deal about 300% of Leica's attack rating, and the meteors will do additional damage depending on how close or spread out the enemies are. So when you upgrade this ability, level 2, when an enemy is damaged by this skill, their dodge and magic suppression are reduced. So this further synergizes with her passive ability, which the difference between the accuracy and dodge between Leica and an enemy allow Leica to do even more damage to the enemies. So the level 3, increase the skill damage all the way to 350% of Leica's attack rating. So let's have a look at the next ability, Starlight Protection. When dealing damage, Leica inflicts 1 stack of star power on enemies, and part of her damage can ignore shields. Upon 15 stacks inflicted, Leica removes all star power and grants Starlight to all allied heroes, increasing their attack rating. And if Starlight Blessing is in effect, Leica will also deal damage to enemies when removing Starlight power. So this is the secondary effect that her passive provides. So this will increase all allied heroes' attack rating by 30% for 10 seconds. So this is an extremely powerful buff that she can provide for her allies. Now let's have a look at the upgrades. Starlight also increases accuracy and magic efficiency. So this makes Leica and her allies more effective. The level 3, immune to control effects while casting. So when she's casting this Starlight Protection, this will grant her immunity to control effects. And when granting Starlight, also grants control immunity to targets for a short period of time. So this is excellent for any hero that is getting this buff over here. And level 4 increases the accuracy and magic efficiency bonuses. So this further increases the accuracy once again. The level 5, Starlight's attribute bonuses increase every time the skill is cast. So this is a stacking effect that supercharges Leica's abilities and her allies as well. So let's have a look at the next ability, Starfall Smite. At the start of battle, Leica shoots a Starfall arrow and deals damage to all enemies on the enemy side of the battlefield. So this is a slight delay where Leica will not appear immediately on the battlefield. However, she'll immediately shoot a couple of arrows, and within a couple of seconds, she'll walk onto the battle and start dealing damage with the rest of her allies. Allied heroes in the same line as Leica become her followers. So if she's in the front line or back line, this will depend on whether they become her followers. And Leica and her followers join battle after a delay of 3 seconds. Until Leica joins battle, she and her followers are untargetable, and other allied heroes take reduced damage. So this reduced damage is 80%. If Starlight Blessing is in effect, the Starfall arrows will deal 2 extra strikes of damage. The level 2, when Leica joins battle, All allied heroes are blessed, increasing their physical pierce and magical pierce. So this is a total of 20 points each for 10 seconds. And in level 3, the Starfall arrow recovers energy of Leica and her followers. Enemy heroes hit by Starfall arrows are limited to recover energy. So this is a total of 500 energy. So this is half of a ultimate. An enemy hit by Starfall arrow cannot recover energy if energy points exceed 500 points until 5 seconds after Leica joins battle. So this is at 3 seconds, and this extends it further to a total of 8 seconds where enemies cannot gain any energy. So let's have a look at the next ability over here. Star Chaser. When using a normal attack, Leica gains control, immunity, and damage reduction while moving to a position with fewer enemies nearby. Leica's normal attacks deal damage to 2 enemy heroes, plus all damage on a straight line between them. If there are fewer than 2 enemy heroes, the attacks will deal extra damage to a target and nearby enemies. So this is excellent, especially if the enemies are grouped up, as this will give her a chain-like effect where multiple enemies will be hit by the same arrow that Leica fires. The level 2, the first normal attack after casting Starlight Protection, will be enhanced. If Starlight Blessing is in effect, the enhanced normal attack will do extra damage based on the target's max health. And the level 3, the normal attacks of non-intelligence based allied heroes deal extra damage based on the difference between their accuracy and the target's dodge. So that means if you're stacking a lot of accuracy based heroes in your team, this will supercharge themselves and their damage output. The ultimates of intelligence based heroes deal extra damage based on the difference between their magical efficiency and the target's magic suppression. If Starlight Blessing is in effect, all Leica's normal attacks and skills deal extra damage to the enemy. So as we can see over here, she benefits both intelligence and accuracy based heroes as well. So let's have a look at how she does in battle. So let's have a look at how she does at the training dummy over here. So when she walks on a battle, she summons her little arrows and attacks the enemies. Now she delays herself for a couple of seconds. This is 3 seconds. However, both herself and the followers around her, the 2 allies on her sides, the top and bottom, will gain 500 points of energy. Now, as we can see over here, the little arrows that she's firing is chaining between multiple targets over here. So as we can see, it chained across the entire screen. So what this means is, if you can group the enemies up closer together, this will allow you to do more AoE damage to the enemies, as we can see over here, as the damage in between is also dealt to the enemies as well. So as we can see, the little circle above your allies, or this little aura around your allies, is the buffs that she's providing for your allies as well. So let's stack up a couple enemies. Let's have a look at her ultimate. So she leaps up into the sky, summons the meteors, and starts one-shotting the enemies within a couple of seconds. So let's have a look at how she does at a much higher level deficit. So this is a 210 level deficit, and in some of these battles she can easily finish the entire team by herself within 10 seconds. Now this is one of those teams. Now this is the standard burst team over here, which consists of Verful, Zorath, Tamris, and then instead of the usual Leica, we have Awakened Lyca in that position over here. Now, from this team over here, we can see that she did the most amount of damage. So let's have a look how this team does over here. So as soon as we start, both our frontline allies are shielded with the little purple shield. Tamris over here groups up all the enemies. Leica is throwing her arrows and chaining all of them together. And with one single ultimate, she'll one-shot all the enemy heroes. Now, this battle took only 11 seconds and all the enemy heroes have been one-shotted. And I even slowed down the battle just to make sure that she had enough time to showcase all of her abilities. What is the minimum investment that I would recommend into this hero over here? Now, similar to other Awakened heroes, I would recommend unlocking their full kit. That means their 30 SI, 9 furniture, and 60 engravings. The reason for this is this unlocks each and every single secondary ability, which provides a massive amount of extra effectiveness for Leica and for your teammates as well. Now, these effects are both dependent on her ascension level based on mythic or ascended or 1-star even, and this will give her extra abilities such as these secondary abilities such as immunity to control effects, extra shield, extra energy, and a massive amount of damage for your team.